lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be reading romance books for a week, specifically Abby Jimenez edition, because I have never read an Abby Jimenez book before. How? I don't know. But because her new release came out pretty recently, a few months ago now, I have really been wanting to give her books a try, and I feel like now's a good time because it's summer and the vibes are here. I am filming this intro from the future because I forgot to film an intro, so if I look the exact same as I do as in the outro, that is the reason. But in this video I'm going to be pretty much just reading these books the whole week and seeing what I think to them, seeing my opinions, my thoughts. This is going to be spoiler free. I'm going to work my way through this interconnected standalone series. So we've got Parts of Your World, we've got Yours Truly, and the latest one, which is Just for the Summer. I've heard incredible things about all of these books. I mean, everyone loves them. I would love to do videos in the future of reading romance books for the whole week, but with different authors and trying different romance books. So if you have any recommendations for your favourite romance authors or just your favourite romance books in general, please let me know. And I would also like to do this like reading a certain genre for a week concept with other genres, so maybe like thrillers, horror, fantasy, sci-fi, literary fiction, literally anything. But without further ado, let's read these books and get into the video. So I have started reading Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, which is the first book in the Part of Your World series. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. But basically people like strongly advise you to start with this one, even though they are all interconnected standalones. So you technically don't have to read them in order because none of the plots link. But I think like if you was to read Just for the Summer, then this couple's story would be kind of ruined and stuff, and you maybe wouldn't understand their cameos. I have started it and so far I cannot put it down. I cannot put this book down. Like, I have been hooked. Any spare chance I've had today, I have wanted to reach for this book and pick it up and just be absorbed and just read it, because the way that Abby Jimenez has written it is just so addicting. And the characters are so fun to read about, the romance is so sweet, everything about it I'm loving. And also it's very small town, and I did not expect that. I don't know why I didn't expect it, but this is very small town vibes, and I am loving that. Like, I am actually loving that because I just didn't expect it. And I am a small town girl. Like, I love a small town romance. Give me all the small town romances. So it was such a surprise when I started reading about like the small town setting and like the small town characters and the kind of found family you get within the town. I have been totally surprised, and yeah, so far I'm thinking this could be like a 4-star for sure. I'm just over halfway. I'm like 200 pages into it now, and can I just show you my bookmark? Oh, it's like a little heart. Oh, it's so cute. It just like slots on the corner of the page. I really want to like build more of a little collection of bookmarks because currently I have like 3 and I just think they're so cute. Like, why are they so cute? But yeah, I have heard a lot of people compare Abby Jimenez's writing style to Emily Henry, and I have read Emily Henry before. I've read Book Lover, Beach Read and Happy Place, and if you like Emily Henry then you'll like Abby Jimenez or vice versa. This one basically follows Alexis, and she is kind of a big city girl. She's got a very high up job in the hospital. She comes from a very prestigious wealthy family, and like her parents put a lot of pressure on her to be like the best surgeon ever and things like that, and she kind of feels like, give me a break guys, do you know what I mean, give me a break, and she's not obsessed with that lifestyle. And then you've got Daniel, and he is a small town guy to his core, he's a small town guy. He's born and raised in this small town, and he runs like a Airbnb there. He is so content with his life, he likes it, he loves it. So it is kind of like they both come from such different worlds, and it's basically a story following them kind of trying to merge these worlds together and see how each feel about it and how each deals with being in these completely different lifestyles and completely different worlds. There's a few comments and a few like little things about Alexis that genuinely grind my gears. Like I love her as a character, I really do, but there is some things in this book where I'm just like, give me strength, like please give me strength right now, because be for real girl, be for real. Like you should know how to peel a potato. You should know how to make a bed. She's a surgeon. She's literally a doctor. Surely, you know, listen, I'm not here to judge, but it's times where I'm like, you are too privileged. Maybe I'll finish it tomorrow. Who knows? Today's day 1. I don't know if I've mentioned, but I am starting this on a Thursday, and I'm going to carry on through to Thursday or whenever I finish all 3 of this series. It's my first time ever reading Abby Jimenez, and I feel like I'm gonna love it. I feel like she is going to become an author by author for me, and I cannot wait. I love trying new authors out, like it's so fun. That being said, I feel like I've literally ranted and rambled on for so long now, so I do apologise. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this tomorrow and then I'll give my full thoughts and my review. This book is literally making me want to be a doctor. Yeah. And now I'm sad that I didn't choose that pathway in life, because the way that the female main character like does her job is so like just cool. Like I would just feel so good about doing what she does. Like I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. Also, just like to note that I have cracked the spine. I've cracked the spine. Someone alert the authorities, because I never crack spine and I don't even know how it's happened. Like I didn't even intentionally crack this spine. I just looked down and it's cracked and I was like, I don't know what's happened. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but the spine is most certainly cracked. I'm so sweaty right now, but why are small town settings so good? So good. Like everything about them. The found family, the setting, the cuteness of it all. That is making this book. That is making this book. Alexis's mum and dad are genuinely horrible. Like they're actually horrible. Everything they do and say, especially her dad, is actually disgusting. And I'm literally sat here thinking, how do you think this is acceptable to literally speak to your daughter like this, like your own daughter? I'm struggling to read his sections because they're genuinely awful. Like, poor Alexis. I've heard the quote, "Grace costs you nothing," in this book quite a few times, and I love that so much. Like, preach to that, preach to that. actually not spoken to the camera in like 2 days, kind of, because on Friday I finished Part of Your World, and then I actually went away for the weekend to London to meet my friend. So I didn't do too much reading over the weekend, Saturday and then now Sunday. I kind of read on the train. I read 100 pages there and 100 pages back of Yours Truly, which is the second one in the little series we've got going on. And let's just have a chat about what I've thought of these books so far. Also, just please excuse my appearance. It's the end of the day. Hair's not washed. Just, I'm in my chill mode. I'm about to like sit down and read a good chunk of this book with my iced coffee. I'm about to have the time of my life. But yeah, so far I am really enjoying these books and I'm loving Abby Jimenez's writing style. So first of all, I obviously read Part of Your World and I have rated this one a 4 stars. I feel like it was a really great start to the series. I enjoyed the couple, I enjoyed the chemistry, I liked the small town setting, I liked the way it was written, and I feel like it was the perfect amount of pages, but it didn't give me that like 5-star feeling. I didn't finish it and think like that was incredible, that was like the best book I've ever read, 5-star, 6-star territory. It was definitely just like, I really had a good time reading this book and I would definitely recommend it to everyone. It was really good, but not 5-star territory. For me, that was because how the romance was written between the characters. It was definitely more on like the physical side of things, as opposed to having more like an emotional connection. They definitely did have some kind of emotional connection, don't get me wrong, but I do think that the relationship was built off of a more physical aspect, and that is just not my favourite type of romance. But if you do enjoy that, then definitely give this one a go. I also feel like it was quite insta-lovey. I feel like the characters definitely, it didn't feel like a lot of time had passed and they already were like obsessed with each other, in love, wanting to like spend every waking minute of every single day together, and it had been like a week. So that kind of like made it not my personal favourite romance, but I can appreciate that it was a great first book in a series, and I do enjoy the characters, I really do. I really liked the guy. He's very sweet, like he does lots of small acts of service and things like that, and he was definitely like, he fell first and he fell harder. That was definitely the trope of this book, and I love that. Alexis, our main girl, I did enjoy her as well. I like that she was I loved like the doctor and surgeon aspects of it, like the hospital side of things. I just feel like that's so interesting, and as a lover of Grey's Anatomy, I loved that side of things. However, there were definitely a few parts where I was a bit like, like, I don't want to circle back to the peeling the potato comment. I know I've already ranted about that. Hey, if you don't know how to peel a potato, then that is completely fine. But I just felt like, how can you be like this really smart, intelligent woman who works in a hospital, does such an incredible job, and you don't know how to do these very simple tasks? But then again, I know that was like what Abby Jimenez was trying to convey. It was like that she was brought up with education as the priority as opposed to like basic skills. Regardless, I did enjoy it. It's a great book in the series, and I know that this one doesn't get talked about as much as the other two, but if you are thinking of reading this little interconnected standalone series, then please do start with this one, because I do think that it is really fun and it is a really good time. So if you are kind of questioning whether to just skip it and go straight into the other two, I would say don't. I would say give it a go. And then I have started Yours Truly, which is the one that I was most anticipating out of the 3, because I've heard incredible things about this book. Everyone rants and raves about it, and from the little kind of tidbits I've heard from people, I just felt like the main guy was going to be like my kind of guy. This one follows Brana, and she is Alexis's best friend in Part of Your World. So we're following her, and I really like her as a main character. She's definitely very fun, she kind of knows what she wants, that kind of thing. And then we also follow Jacob, and he is new to the kind of hospital that these books are all centered around. So he's new there and no one really likes him. He kind of gets off to like a bad start, and she's like, who is this guy? He's so rude. I feel like I'm getting a cold. She's having like a bad time with it. She's going through divorce, her brother's not doing well, and she's just very under pressure with everything in her life, so she's not having the best time. And then he basically writes her a letter to kind of apologise for how things got off on the wrong foot, and they start communicating by sending these letters to each other, and it's really, really sweet. And then they kind of build a friendship from there, and he happens to be the perfect match for her brother, donor wise. I think he's kidney donor. He's the, I should have probably led with that. He is the perfect kidney donor match for her brother, which is obviously perfect. Jacob actually suffers from anxiety as well, so that is a really, really interesting part of the story, because I feel very seen with how he has been written. Like, a lot of the things that happens, I'm like, literally me, like literally me. Really, really lovely as well to kind of see like the man in a romance book who suffers from like anxiety rather than the woman. I feel like that's not really shown a lot in the romance genre, and it's really, really nice to see. And I feel like Abby Jimenez is doing a great job so far with how he has been written. He's a really, really cute guy, and yeah, I feel like they're just so cute together. I'm currently 204 pages in, halfway through about, and I'm really enjoying this one. I think the difference that I'm getting is that this one, physical romance, this one, emotional romance, in terms of how they start, because this one starts off immediately with like physicality, and this one immediately starts off with an emotional connection. That's my little update. I just say this book is so cute, like the little comments and like how the romance isn't fully developed yet, and they're like in the beginning stages, and you just know they're gonna go, like they're gonna end up together, and it's so sweet. Why is it so sweet? Honestly, the comments that these guys make to each other, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. This man is the sweetest man ever. It's so swoon worthy. Let me just read you this quote. "It was weird to say, but she made me feel alone. The way I felt when I was by myself, calm and unaffected, like it was just us here and not 100 other people. I liked being alone with her." It's coffee time. Trope is strong in this book. It is strong. It's honestly been frustrating at times. I wasn't aware that this book was going to cause me emotional pain and damage. Also, the anthem for this song, the song that matches this book, is Enchanted by Taylor Swift. Like, that's just a song that's been playing over and over and over in my headphones while I've been reading, so now I'm like linking them together. Like, when I think of that song, I'll think of this book. When I think of this book, I'll think of that song. They're just linked. You know when you listen to a song that much while reading, that they just are one. And I feel like Enchanted is such a good backing track for this book. Reader things. I've just finished yours truly. No, because this book, genuinely one of the cutest romance books I've ever read. The way my heart was having like heart palpitations, like butterflies, like some of the things that happened in this book genuinely made me literally be like I don't know what I'm gonna rate it yet, because here's the thing, I'm kind of in between like a 4.75 and a 5-star, and I'm not sure which one I'm gonna settle on, because it could be a 5-star if I keep thinking about it, and if I do, then it will be a 5-star. But right now I'm not sure. I don't want to like say a rating because I've literally just finished it like 1 minute ago, so I'll pop it on the screen what I do decide on. But let me just tell you that this book is so sweet. It is so just cute, and the chemistry was just lovely to read about, because it didn't start off on a physical foot, it started off on an emotional foot, and they kind of like built an emotional connection, and they built a friendship first, and then that evolved into a romance, which I've realised is like one of my favourite kind of tropes, kind of things. Like, they build the friendship first and then that evolves, but the whole time they kind of know that they each like each other, you know? However, one thing that did frustrate me a little bit was the fact that the miscommunication trope. Why was it so intense? This book had such a large miscommunication trope going on, and it was kind of to a point where I was like frustrated while whilst reading. I was like, ah, like, you know, when you know that they love each other and they love each other, but the other person doesn't know that they love each other. I know that's a lot. I was frustrated a lot at the time, but that being said, it did evoke a lot of emotion from me. It made me feel so happy, I had butterflies, and also it made me feel like sad. Like, my heart was honestly squeezing a little bit. It was like, this is really sad. Like, what? I did not expect that. I did not expect to be reading and having like emotional outbursts. Do you know what I mean? Jacob is honestly one of the cutest book boyfriends ever. Like, he was so sweet. Everything he did, the little things that he did was so sweet, and I loved seeing anxiety represented so well in this book, because the way that Abby Jimenez wrote anxiety was very, very well done, and I felt seen and I could relate to a lot of the things that happened. I also loved our main female character, Brianna. She was lovely, she was fun, she was so caring. The way that she understood Jacob was like so well done, and it wasn't, I feel like, yes, we can focus on Jacob and the anxiety representation, but also I want to focus on the fact that Abby Jimenez wrote a character that was so loving and caring, and I can't think of the word, like, considerate towards his anxieties. So it wasn't just like a one-sided thing. They both were just so understanding of each other and each other's struggles and each other's personalities and characteristics, and it was so lovely to see a couple that was so complex and they had so much depth. It wasn't just like an everyday silly little romance. It felt like it had a lot more depth to it. That being said, I have finished the second book and I now have one book left, which is Just for the Summer, which is a pretty new release, and I've heard so much stuff about it. Like, it's a very, very popular romance book and I've heard great reviews. Also, I've seen that it makes you cry. Scared. I'm gonna go sob, because that book was really, really sad and really, really cute, and I loved it so much. Bye. He's done a multiple choice questionnaire for their first date. Sorry? No, that is so cute. Because why is that kind of perfect? Like, I would want that. I would want to choose exactly the thing. It says preferred time for the day, what activities interest you, food preferences, fanciness level, preferred greeting, and preferred mode of transportation. Yeah, absolutely. I need that in my life. Like, I love it when in books, like, you see the guy's POV and he's like internally freaking out about the girl. Like, in his head, it's like, oh my god, act normal, like, be cool, stop freaking out. And the girl's just like so casual, so like, just like doesn't care, just breezy, and the boy's like stressing out, trying to be perfect for the girl. Like, I love that so much in books. Midpoint check-in. I'm halfway through, well, I'm actually over halfway through this book. This is not really a midpoint check-in, this is like a 3/4 of the way through check-in. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you like my updates on the book so far before like I actually finish it, just to see where I'm at right now, you know? Is this book gonna be another 5 stars? Like, surely not. Surely not. I feel like at this point in my videos, you will know that I am a high rater. I feel like I rate books very, very high most of the time. I just love giving books 5 stars. Listen, hey, why would we not want to spread the positivity, spread the positive vibes? And if I had an amazing time reading the book, then 9 times out of 10, it's getting a 5 star. Maybe that's a me problem, and it probably is, but I genuinely, with my whole heart, when I rate a book 5 stars, it's because I just had the best time ever, and I just love it. So yeah, I may not rate off of like technicalities and stuff, but whatever. This is the 3rd book in the Part of Your World little mini standalone series, and it came out this year, so it's not been out for very long. The cover literally is so stunning. I think this is probably one of the prettiest romance covers that I have on my shelf. Wow. This one follows Justin, and he basically puts out a Reddit thread, and he basically says, am I the asshole? Because every girlfriend that I get, after they break up with me, they instantly go on to find their soulmate, and it's like I'm the good luck charm to them finding their actual soulmate. So he posts that thread, and Emma replies, and she's basically like, wait, I have this exact same problem. What is going on? Like, huh? And Emma is kind of someone who travels around as a travel nurse. So she goes from like state to state. She's not in one state for very long. So that means that she can travel wherever she would like. And they basically make this agreement to meet up and try and cancel out the bad curse that they've got. So they think that if they both date each other, when they both break up, because they both have the same problem, they will go off to find their like true loves. And because Emma is a travel nurse, she can basically travel to where Justin is living, and they can start to do this fling, like this, I don't really know, like experiment. And of course, they're going to catch feelings along the way, as it always goes. And I will eat it up every time. So far though, I am loving the characters. I do like both of the characters. I mean, Justin is just a king. Yeah, he is a king. Why does Abby Jimenez write the literal most amazing book boyfriends ever? Honestly, I do like the characters together. I like their romance. It's definitely more of like a quiet acts of love romance, which I love. He does lots of acts of service, so if that is your love language, then read this book, because this man, he does the most, and it's so sweet. I like as well that interwoven into the romance is kind of like a subplot of their separate lives going on and their struggles, and it's really talking about how they're dealing with what's going on in their lives without saying too much. I like that it's not just 2 people who fall in love. They both have their stuff going on and they're trying to work through that, and I think it's done really, really well. So far I'm loving it. I've got 100 pages left, and a lot could happen in this 100 pages. I feel like it might make me cry because I have seen some people cry and I'm scared. But yeah, as it goes, so far, I'm loving this book so much. It's so cute. I have now finished Just for the Summer, and I've rated it a 4.5 stars. I feel like it's not giving me the same 5-star feeling that yours truly did, but it did give me stronger 5-star feelings than Part of Your World. So we've kind of gone from like 4-star, 4.5, and then we've got a 5. We've got like a range, but none of them are below a 4, so I would say that they're all very highly rated, and definitely I would recommend every single one of them. But just on my thoughts for Just for the Summer, I really liked this one, and I liked how she kind of interlinks deeper plot meanings and like deeper character complexes. It's not just like a regular cheesy romance where like they fall in love and that's it. They both have like their own things going on and like their own struggles and difficulties in their own individual lives, and then she kind of writes it where they both help each other through that, which makes the romance and the story so much better. I really liked both the male and female character in this one. Definitely Justin, he was up there. And also Emma, like, she wasn't my favourite out of all three female main characters in this kind of like series. That was definitely Brianna for me. Brianna was up there, and then I think maybe Justin might have been like the top male main character. So not from the same book, like my favourite male and female character. But this one, just the reason it didn't get a 5-star was just because it just didn't give me that feeling at the end. I feel like there was like a few tiny little sections where it dragged a tiny bit, but nothing like crazy, obviously, because it's still a 4.5. It's so close to being a 5-star, and I would 100% recommend this one. Another thing I will say is the fact that yes, they are interconnected, so you don't have to read them all in order, but I would highly recommend doing it because a massive major plot point in this book connects to the first book. And if you didn't read the first book, then you might not be as impacted by this one. So definitely read the first one first and then this one. The second one doesn't connect as much, so that one's not like as big of a deal if you didn't read it, but obviously read it because it's a 5-star. And also in this one, you obviously get like the couple from the second book's cameo as well. So it's just nice to see all of their little cameos, and it kind of means more when you see them, and it's cuter. And also what I love about interconnected standalones is that even though you're done with their story, like when this book is finished, that is their story closed, you still see them popping up in the other books. You get to see like how they're doing, what's happening for them and stuff like that. That's another thing that I will say was really good about this series. The way that all the different characters and couples had their own cameos and their own little features in each book was really cute. And overall, I think I found like one of my new favourite authors for sure. Like anything Abby Jimenez writes, I will 1000% pick up, because the way that she writes romance is just next level. This is definitely one of my favourite romance series now. I would say my top romance authors are Elsie Silver, now Abby Jimenez, and I really like Hannah Grace as well, in terms of contemporary romance, not fantasy. So let me know if you have read her other series before this one. Life's Too Short, The Happy Ever After playlist, and there's another one, but I'm not sure what it's called. Oh, The Friend Zone. If you read that one, let me know, because I really want to give that one a go as well. But I'm so glad that I read all of these, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to get to an Abby Jimenez book, because they're so good. Definitely get what all the hype is about. And also, I don't know if this links, but I feel like after reading strictly happy cutesy, there's definitely some emotional scenes in these, don't get me wrong, but after reading like a week of romance books, I feel like, how can you not be happy at the end of it, you know? How can you not be happy? I definitely feel like this improves your mood, reading books like these, for sure. And I am really sad to not get any more books on these characters, because I think this might be this series kind of closed off now and finished, perhaps. So I have found a new author author, and I've loved every second of these books. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.